Sometimes you can do everything right and still be in a bad mood. It's hard out here. Let's get started. Don't mind my background. My room's a little messy sometimes. You just don't feel like cleaning up stuff, you know? Let's be honest. I feel like everyone's room isn't clean 24/7. Or it might be. And I could just be depressed, which is also very true. Anyways, let's get started. I have been wanting to like do this talk video because y'all know I love talking. I've been wanting to do this talk video for a long time. Elf primer. Not sponsored. But if you see this elf, I'm probably going to send you guys a sponsorship, like, contract thingy. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But elf primer, I've been using this for literally years. Yeah, sometimes when I go to the gym in the morning and I come back and, like, shower and, like, get myself together for the day, it makes me sleepy. So that's what happened today. And I kind of just was feeling funky. Not, like, smelly funky. I took a shower. But if I didn't take a shower, that's not your business anyway. It's like 1 o'clock and I low-key was so tempted to just lay around all day and just waste my day away. But I've been trying to be more consistent with YouTube because I miss you guys and I have so much to say. But at the same time, I've had so much going on being a business owner and still working. My oh my, I've been wanting to talk to you guys about boys. Let's talk about boys. Anyways, just kidding. I have a love-hate relationship with men, I'm gonna be honest. And if a certain someone is watching this, I love you. You're the only person that I can stand. Let's talk about boys. I have so much to say on this topic. Literally so much. It's part of the reason why I'm like, I've been like hesitating to make this video because I don't even know where to start. I've had such a history with boys and men. And I say boys and men because when I say boys, I'm talking about, like, you know, the you know, when I was younger and I liked people, because I feel like when you're younger and you go about like relationships and stuff, it really sets the tone for how you process things. Not to mention, of course, your upbringing and that kind of background and stuff. But when you're young and you're dating someone and you really swear that it's serious, first of all, let's just say, like, I'm 27. I'll be 28 this October. Anybody who's younger than me or even 27, or if you're older than me and you still want to listen to this, that applies too. I'm just speaking because I haven't been to that age yet. This is for my single ladies who are in their 20s. I'm about to tell y'all everything that I did wrong. And if I could go back and tell my younger self, this would be everything that I would tell her. I want you guys to listen to this video with an open mind and an open heart, because I know it's easier said than done, but it's also really easy to like get stuck in, oh, I'm never gonna find the perfect person for me. First of all, there's no perfect people. Perfect couples don't exist. They just make it work. That's what I heard in a sermon one time, and that always stuck with me because I'm like, yeah, wow, like, I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. We're never gonna be perfect. They don't exist. Perfect couples just make it work. But let's talk about you. Me? Yeah, you. Let's talk about you. Man, oh man. The first guy I was ever serious about dating, we dated middle school, and like we broke up, I think, my sophomore year of high school. I think we dated for, I don't even remember how long we dated because I was a kid, you know. If you are in high school or you're even in middle school, please listen to what I have to say. Please, this next thing that I'm about to say. It is not wise to get into a long lasting relationship at that age. I'm 27. And in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I'm not that much older than you are, but there's different stages in your 20s that you go through. And so there is a big change. I was thinking about the other night with somebody, we were talking about our first heartbreaks and stuff, and I was just talking about how ridiculous it is to be in a long-lasting relationship at that age. I think the longest relationship I had at that age, I don't even know, maybe like 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And just looking back, I'm just like, who allowed me to be in a relationship that long? Honestly, for me to even be taking dating seriously at that time was ridiculous, because a girl, I was like 12, bro. I don't even know myself now. How could I expect my 12-year-old self to to know what's up. It's just crazy, and it honestly limits you. I'm not even kidding. Being in a long-term relationship, especially in those years, your prime, okay, I hate when people say like your prime years, because every day, every year that you're alive is a prime year. Like, let's just say that you have less responsibilities when you're in high school. When you're in middle school, you have less bills. Most of the time, you know, this generation is a little different, but you have less responsibilities. Why would you make a man, a boy, let's say boy, because middle school, high school, you're not a man, but why would you let a boy be one of those responsibilities? And I'm not even trying to say this to be mean or anything, but men are stupid. Like, again, I'm not trying to say this to be mean or anything, but men really, like, when they say men mature so much slower than women, they're not lying. Like, really take that with a grain of salt. Like, your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. That's for women. And for men, I'm pretty sure their brain doesn't develop until a little later than that. I'm 27. My brain just got done developing 2 years ago. On a physical, scientific level, my brain was not fully developed. Like, really let that sink in. How do you think you can make long-lasting decisions at that age, and long-lasting decisions and like taking on long-lasting responsibilities at that age when your brain is not even fully developed? You don't even understand exactly what you're doing. It's the time where you start to like figure out who you are. It's the time where you start to decide. No, well, it's not, you don't even decide. It's the time where you start to explore and experiment with who you think you might want to be. Even at my age of 27, I'm still not fully who I want to be. And even, I'm sure at the age of 67, I still won't be who I fully want to be. And that's okay, because life is not a destination. Life is a journey. There is no point in my life where I'm going to be like, okay, I'm done growing. I'm done trying to be better. There is no point. There is no finish line, you know? The finish line does not exist. And so for that reason, I would not take things so seriously. So I dated this guy. I grew up in the church. I was going to church. I was Seventh-day Adventist. I dated this guy who literally was not into me. And at the time, of course, I thought he was into me, and I'm sure he thought he was into me. But looking back at the grand scheme of things, sir, you did not like me. He didn't accept who I was at the time and what I was doing. I was literally, I think we started dating in middle school. Like, bro, I was a teenager. I was experimenting with like drinking. I never was a heavy drinker. I never like went to parties or nothing. Like I went to some parties, you know, high school little party things, you know, what you can do in high school, but I wasn't really like a partier. I did drink, you know, experimenting sometimes with my friends, you know, just, you know, being teenagers, being young and dumb, but nothing like serious at all. But he didn't like that. And he was just he's a very serious, very serious person. And I am not, I mean, I know how to be serious, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not a serious person. Like, you know those people who just are so serious all the time? They're just so stern and so just, I don't know how else to say, but besides so serious, he was just so serious all the time. He just did not like the person I was, and I thought I liked that man, but I didn't like that man. I just liked the idea of him liking me. I liked the idea of someone choosing me. I liked the idea of being someone's person, you know? Honestly, me liking the idea of love and being a hopeless romantic honestly drove most of how I chose my relationships, besides the last like 3-4 years, honestly. If I'm being honest, he just, you know, ended up breaking up with me, and I was so heartbroken. I literally did not know how to deal with that kind of heartbreak. I really didn't. I remember being so heartbroken and not knowing what to do. I literally called this man's mother and like confided in her. That is so cringe. But I'm not like beating myself up or anything, because I love me. I love my story. I realize, you know, my history. I'm grateful for the person I was then, and I'm grateful for my growth at the same time. Don't beat yourself up about it if you have a situation similar to mine. You are learning. But yeah, I just remember being so heartbroken, wanting to speak to him and stuff and, you know, talk to him, and he just literally ignored me. It's just so mean, and I totally forgot about that fact until I literally just said it. He ignored me. Like, why do guys do that? When you break up with somebody, you just ignore them. Like, nobody owes you anything. And I know it's hard to accept, but no one owes you anything, and that includes an explanation. Now, at the same time, it's not nice. It's not a kind, forget niceness. It's not a kind thing to do, to break up with somebody and not fully explain to them, like, not fully communicate to them, like, what the issue was. I just don't think it's a nice thing. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, don't correct me if I'm wrong, because I know, like, it's just not a nice thing to do, to just leave somebody hanging without, like, communicating to them, like, what's up. Picking that guy and how our relationship went, and me being so willing to change who I was just so he would accept me, set the tone for all of my relationships in my younger 20 years. Do not change for anybody. If they do not accept you the way you are, the day they meet you, the good and the bad, they are not for you. They are not for you. You cannot change yourself to make someone love you. You cannot. And even if you do change yourself to make someone love you, and they start to, like, you know, love you the way you think you wanted them to love you, it's still never going to work, because regardless of whatever you decide to change, it's never going to be enough for them, because they don't accept you for who you are. That don't got shit to do with you. So don't be sitting here listening to this video trying to throw yourself a pity party talking about, oh, I'm not good enough to love. Like, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're too good. You're too good to change yourself for somebody else to love you, is what I'm saying. Didn't date anyone else in high school. Just like little, like, talking flings. You know how that goes. I got to college. The cycle repeated itself. So are we surprised? No, we're not surprised, because I told you guys how you deal with relationships in your, you know, your early years is how you're going to deal with them in your later years if you don't learn and change. And that's exactly what I was stuck on, a pattern of repeating, and just a cycle, literally a cycle of choosing guys who didn't truly like me, but I just liked the idea of them choosing me and liking me and having somebody to love me, because I have abandonment issues. So willing to give up myself and give up who I was just for them to stay in my life. And so, yeah, the first guy I dated in college, he was a pianist in the choir that I sang in. It was a Christian college, so I was in this, like, gospel choir. That's beside the point, kind of. We weren't in the same social circles, honestly. We just were not compatible. I got a lot of comments of, like, people telling me, like, you're too good for him, like, you know, stuff like that. And I feel like if one person tells you that, like, okay, but if you got a lot of people coming up to you telling you the same thing, don't ignore that. Don't be stupid. Like, I'm not saying everybody's right, but if everybody's saying something, sometimes we get so deep in our situations that we cannot see. We are just blinded. But God, or whoever you believe in, the universe, higher power, or whoever, they send signs. They send signs. And if you can't read those signs, if you can't hear and listen and see those signs, they'll send people to actually tell you with words from their mouth, instead of little butterflies to make you just try to differentiate what this sign means. No, they're going to send people. If you continue to be stupid, they're going to send people to use their actual words, to formulate words that you can understand, to help you understand. You got to get going. He didn't like a lot of the stuff. We had nothing in common, is what I'm saying. Like, I was in a sorority. I smoked. I wouldn't say I'm a partier, but I did go out to party. I like to have fun, kickbacks, game nights, you know. I was always hanging out with people. I would get drunk with my friends. You know, just we weren't in the same socialite. I'm not saying you have to have everything in common with somebody that you're dating, but if you don't even live the same way, that's important too. Compatibility. Don't choose people just because they choose you. You have to decide if those people are worthy of your choice. I chose him because he chose me. And choosing people just because they choose you is not enough. It is. Now, at the same time, you gotta choose people who choose you. But you can't choose somebody just because they choose you. Okay? What I'm saying is I changed. I'm beating around the bush. I changed myself for this guy. Oh, I'm lying, y'all. Pause. let's go back to the first fling I had in college, the first serious guy that I really, really liked. He was a choir member. We sang in the same section. I was a tenor, and he also was a tenor. This was before I dated the pianoist in the same choir that we sang in. But yeah, I was talking to one of the choir members, and he just was not into the same stuff I was in. He did not like the fact that I was in a sorority. He didn't like that I like to go out and party and drink. Smoking was a big thing for him. And I understand, like, you know, everyone's entitled to their own preferences. Don't choose people who live that lifestyle and then ask them to change. And at the same time, don't choose people who don't live the same, who don't agree with your lifestyle and change for them. That's ridiculous. Like, you can't change for anybody but yourself. And so what did my little insecure self do? Because she wanted to be loved. She wanted to be loved on. She wanted somebody to stay and not abandon her for once. She decided to change who she was for this man. She is me. I stopped doing a lot of stuff that I enjoyed because he did not like it. Was I happy? No, hell no, of course not. Of course I wasn't happy. Duh. No, I wasn't happy. I was living my life for somebody else. That's ridiculous. And of course that didn't last. He actually found out that I smoked. Because I think my sister posted a Snapchat and I was in the background talking. You couldn't see my face or anything, but you could hear my voice. And I said something about smoking, and he texted me and was like, "Is this you?" So yeah, he broke up with me because he didn't agree with my lifestyle. And I told him I wasn't doing what he didn't like me doing, and I actually was doing it because you can't change for nobody. You gotta change for yourself, duh. And so yeah, that didn't work out. And oh, another heartbreak, because here I am trying to change myself because this person isn't accepting me. Do you guys see the pattern here? Acceptance and abandonment and me trying to change myself. Like I said, it's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. If you don't learn, the cycle will repeat itself. So after that, the first fling I had in college, I dated this guy, like I was just talking about, who didn't like what I was doing either. Partying and having fun, drinking and stuff. And what did I do? Did I leave him? No, of course not. No, I didn't leave him. No, I changed who I was for him. Tell me why I stopped smoking for a year and a half just because this man did not like it. That's crazy, because it's just wild. It's honestly, it says a lot about your self-worth and what you see in yourself when you are willing to change yourself for somebody else, but you're not willing to change yourself for yourself in the betterment of yourself. I really had to come to the conclusion, like I really had to turn around and face myself and realize, like, you don't love yourself. You will change for these people for the betterment of, you know, having them in your life. But when you need to change for yourself, where is that same energy? And so, did me and this guy who I dated in college work out? No, of course not. We didn't work out. Yeah, of course it didn't work out. It wasn't gonna work out. My family, I was not myself with these people. And my family would tell me that. And that's another thing. I'm not saying your family's always right, but But I might tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie. And that's not them. The family will still lie, but family has a certain discernment, man. It's hard to ignore family's discernment. That's the fact. We tried to make it work for the longest time, but you can't make something work that's just not meant to be. Like, if it's meant to be, it will be. I promise you, if something is meant to be, nothing in this world besides you and God will get in between that. If something is meant to be, it will be. And if something's not meant to be, it won't be. It won't be. If something is not meant to be, it won't keep working out. Now, at the same time, like I said, perfect couples don't exist. They just make it work. But if you guys don't even have that foundation, and like even you're just butting heads on like the small things, like your values and just agreeing on how you should live your day-to-day life, then I don't want to be the one to tell you, but another heartbreak in the books, and that was honestly on me. But did I learn my lesson after that? Let's take a guess. Let's take a gander. Did Brittany learn her lesson after her third heartbreak from changing herself just so the person she wanted to be with would want to be with her? No. Of course I didn't learn, silly. I told you, if you don't learn, the cycle keeps repeating yourself. I didn't learn, so the cycle repeated itself. I had this best friend in college. He wasn't in my choir. Surprise, surprise. He broke my heart. I don't like my eyeshadow, so I think I'm gonna put some concealer over it and start over. Not that I'm putting like a time limit on healing, because you gotta heal when you're gonna heal. Like, you can't rush it, you can't speed past it. You gotta heal when you heal. It took me 4 years to get over that man. It took me 4 years to get over that man. And you may be asking why. So let's get into it. He was my best friend throughout college, though, or so I thought. I think I just kind of made that up in my head. And that's another thing. Y'all can't be living in this fantasy land and like come back to reality. It's okay to dream, and it's okay to have dreams. It's okay to be hopeful and be excited about love and your future with somebody, but you gotta also be real. You gotta also be real. And I feel like a part of that situation was me misunderstanding and miscalculating my place in this man's life. I thought he saw our level of friendship the same way I saw it. I thought I was his best friend, and that just wasn't the case. But however, I did learn the lesson of not changing who I was for somebody else. He was into the same stuff I was into socially, so that really didn't play a part. However, you can't date people who are insecure about how they want to present themselves to the world. Because if you date someone who's insecure about how they want to present themselves to the world, and you are secure in yourself and how you want to present yourself to the world, it's going to be almost impossible to be free in that relationship. I'm going to say my truth, and I'm going to say it unapologetically. This man was super insecure about himself. He didn't know who he was. And I'm not saying you gotta have your shit together. You gotta figure out, you gotta know exactly who you are. Because like I said, life is not, there's no destination to life. Life is a journey. But you gotta have some type of security. And like I said, if you get into a relationship with somebody who is not secure about how they want to present themselves to the world, it's impossible for you to be free in expressing yourself. I think this is why it took me so long to get over this man, was because I genuinely thought he was my friend. If he cared about you like the friend you thought he cared about you, he wouldn't have done you like that. But he did. And friends don't do that. Friends don't treat you like how I was treated. I just wanted to make this video for a 20-something-year-old who was in there dating, who may have a similar story to me. And I just want to encourage you to really check yourself before you wreck yourself. At the end of the day, you can't change for anybody but yourself. At the end of the day, everyone has something that needs to be worked on. Everyone has flaws. Like, no one's gonna be perfect. If you're in your 20-something, this is the time for you to figure out what you want, for you to date people and dump people, for you to date people and maybe stay with people. There's just so much to be discovered about yourself and what you want. And it does change. Like, who you are changes, and what you want changes. Your needs change. And that's not to say if you do get into a serious relationship, it's not going to work out because you're always changing. But no, you have to have a person that is willing to continue to love you as you change. But you have to pick somebody who likes you to begin with. All the people that I've dated up until these past 2 years, 3 years, really 3 years, did not like me. They required me to change things about myself. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying there wasn't things that I needed to change. Yeah, but if you can't even accept the bare minimum of me, why would I continue to give you the rest of me if you didn't even accept the bare minimum of who I am? You have to find yourself. No, okay. You don't have to find all yourself, because like I said, life it's a journey. It's not a destination. You're not gonna have everything, it's just life. But that's the beautiful thing about it, is being able to figure it out and find out what you like and reinvent yourself. And if you don't like that, reinvent yourself again, and just keep doing that until you find the person that you actually want to be, the person that you're proud of. You can't expect to get that kind of love and that kind of acceptance if you're not giving that to yourself, which is why I said in the beginning of the video, your choices of who you decide to mingle with when it comes to dating, who you decide to lay down with when it comes to, other stuff, your choices depend fully on the level of worth that you see in yourself. If you don't think that you're worthy of healthy love, one that like accepts you, all of your flaws, then you won't accept that. I love this movie, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. There's this quote, it's one of the well-known quotes in that movie, and it says, "We accept the love we think we deserve." I didn't think I was worthy of being, I didn't think my flaws were worthy of being accepted. I didn't think my flaws were worthy of being loved. And so I didn't accept love that accepted me for me, regardless of my flaws and my imperfections. I didn't accept that love because I didn't think she was worthy of being loved. And so I did accept love that consisted of me having to change to receive that love, because I thought that in order for me to receive love, whether it be platonic, romantic, from my parents, my sisters, anybody, I thought in order for me to receive love, I needed to change something within myself because I was not worthy of receiving that love. So I continued to accept love from people who required me to change who I was just to receive the kind of love that they were giving, and it wasn't love. And so now I know that I'm worthy of love. I know that I'm not a perfect person, but I love myself enough, and I've accepted and I found a home in myself enough to be grounded and able to accept healthy love. And so yeah, we do accept the love we deserve. And if you are in a rut when it comes to dating, and you just have these cycles of repeated cycles of literally dating the same men, but it's different men, there comes a point you have to stop, turn around, and face yourself, and really like be honest and be real with yourself. And that's not an easy thing to do at all. Taking accountability in your own demise and your own downfall, it's not easy, and it's almost hurtful, because it's like, dang, like I want the best for myself, but I don't want the best for myself. It's kind of confusing also, but at the end of the day, like, if you're confused on your thoughts, like, look at your actions. Your actions will tell you everything you deserve, or your actions will tell you everything you think you deserve. Y'all was distracting me, so I got ready off the camera the rest of the way, because there was no way I was going to continue to tell these stories and talk without being behind in my day. I'm actually kind of behind in my day, so I'm really ready to just crawl back in bed and just call it quits for another day. But anyways, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. The moral of this message is to love yourself. Never change yourself for somebody. Those who are meant to be in your life will love you where you are. I promise. I promise. That's a whole nother video though, having hope and staying encouraged while being dating. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to like it so I know you like this video, and YouTube knows you like this video, so we can find our little community here on YouTube, even though we've already started to build that community. I don't know if I acknowledge this, but your girl hit 10K. Double digits in subscribers, 10K is crazy. Thank you guys for always supporting me in my crazy mess and my journey thus far. I think we've been on YouTube for like 3-4 years, so I appreciate you guys being here with me to grow and just listening to my rants. Anyways, like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you say subscribe, so when I do drop my other dating series videos, you guys will be notified, so you can find your community of people and realize that you are not alone. Okay, peace and love. Always stay up, stay blessed, stay encouraged, stay safe out there. I love you all. Please just stay encouraged. I know life is hard, and it seems like it's just continuing to get hard. I just want you guys to stay encouraged. So I love you all. Take care. Bye.